What's up, Capstone family? This is Ed Drummond coming at you on this Friday, the 8th of July. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you checking it out this week. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Again, we put these videos out every week just to ensure that our clients and those that are in the space of managing long-term investment properties here in the Phoenix area know what's happening, know what's going on behind the scenes at a property management company such as ours, as well as just know what's really happening behind the scenes in the real estate industry. There's a lot of things that are being put out there regularly, whether it's national news, whether it's local news, that it's sometimes it's hard to really understand what's going on. I struggle with it when I watch the news. I go, well, that's old news, right? Or that's something that we hadn't talked about in 7 months. All of a sudden, if we're trending and tracking what's really going on, we can, be ahead of it and be paying attention to this stuff. There's something in our office that we do regularly, and we're really becoming more intentional with it. We have meetings every morning, and oftentimes, during COVID, it started to where everybody here in the office was on a Zoom call. We used to do back in the day, everybody face-to-face. And today, again, we had another face-to-face one, which was so much fun. It's good to see everybody having a laugh and, just connecting and figuring out what's going on. But one of the things that we do talk about is, figuring out for each person here in our office, what are the things that they're seeing right now in their particular role? What's changing? What's shifting? What's different from week to week? And it helps us in painting a broader picture of what's really going on in the market. If you've watched these before, I love the data, right? I love looking at the data and seeing what's going on. But where that data also helps is ensuring that we're able to take the information from each of our team members and go, okay, maybe it's KPIs that we're not tracking, right? It's the conversations that they're having. It's the different things that they see that bring to light a piece of this puzzle that we hadn't yet noticed. So a couple things I wanted to bring up this week. From the standpoint of numbers, the market overall and how it's doing, it looks it's a little tough out there. We're seeing a ton of active inventory on the sales side, a lot more. Every week it's like 1,000 more being added to the market. We're seeing, I think the biggest stat that, if I look at all the stats that I share with you all, the one that sticks out to me the most is contract ratios. And contract ratios, when the market shot up, we were at what we call, the maximum market, the insanity market, the frenzied market. Thanks to our friends at the Cromford Report, they have a great, piece of information that they share with us. We're back down to basically between a hot and a warm market right now when it comes to selling properties. So the market and how it's changed and the amount of inventory and the amount of days on market that are shifting, all of those things are going up. If you've got a house that's going on the market in the foreseeable future, there is a high probability that you're going to be sitting longer than you had if you would have listed even a week prior to that. Every week it seems like things are shifting. So just keep that in mind. The market has not yet shifted to a buyer's market. However, that's looking like it's going to be the trend. Financing is still so tough, and for the affordability, when it comes to how much people can pay for these properties right now, with interest rates as high as they are, it's pretty wild. This last week, my wife ran some numbers for me on investment, and realistically, investment rates are pretty high right now, and realistically it changes the whole game when it comes to financing and leveraging when purchasing investment property. So again, keep that in mind. There's a lot that's still going on. However, it's really changing out there from week to week. From a standpoint of the rentals and what we're seeing on the rental side, some interesting things that my team was telling me this week, and it's hard to make sense of what we're seeing yet. One thing in particular is we're seeing what seems like, from a tenant standpoint, a shift of it's to uncertainty. And this is the first time that we've seen this level of uncertainty from our tenants. This comes from people who are sometimes opting to jump out of their lease because another opportunity has presented itself, no matter the consequences. This might be certified funds that we now, so when they send a payment and it bounces, they're put on the certified funds on our process. So, and I get an email whenever that happens for certified funds. And, every once in a while we'll get one, we'll get two a month, whatever. This month we saw a lot. And it's interesting to see that trend, that this month in particular, we saw more certified funds than we've seen almost in the entire year. The other is where tenants in this particular market are calling in significantly earlier than we'd expect, 90 days out or sometimes even more, and trying to lock things up for what they're going to be doing moving forward when the lease expires. What our tenants always need to remember, as well as our owners, is that everything is in the leases. We spell it all out in the lease as to what you're responsible for and what each party's responsible for and how we're going to handle it in the case of this or that. For the most part, it's property management it's easy because it's black and white, right? Yes, there are hard things that come up. We have a attorney on retainer. He sends out letters every week. This is someone that, because the processes are so tight, we just follow the process. We're still going to make sure that everybody knows exactly what their rights are and what they need to be doing. However, the process has to be followed. And that's what our tenants need to 100% understand, as well as our owners, right? And for the most part, this isn't so much of an owner concern as is a tenant concern. We honor the lease 100%. We cannot deviate from that. Once I deviate from that for one person, that means I discriminated against all these other people who I potentially didn't do that for, right? So it's like, we got to keep it super, super, super straight right here, right? That's it. There's no deviation from that. If we do that, we're all in good shape, because at the end of the day, this person can't ask me to deviate from what I'm doing for every other person, right? I can't break our process, break the law to do something for one versus not the others. So, that's why property management, in my eyes, is exceptionally simple. It's very, very, very cut and dry. We do make our contracts as easy as possible. We've rewritten them multiple times. But again, this stuff is starting to come up a lot. This week was pretty interesting. There wasn't a person on my team who didn't have that to say about the market, except for Ethan on the maintenance side. But even LaDonna up at the front, she had a lot of calls this week that are asking to lock in fast, get this stuff quickly. That's new. These are things that, over the last couple of weeks, maybe we've been building up to this week, but this week was just different. So let's see how that spills into next week. I'll definitely fill you in on what we're seeing here in the weeks moving through July. This is the season. This is the time when, we rent out a lot of properties, and we're renting out a lot. We have a ton of inventory on the market, but we are seeing still a lot of people out there looking. So there's a lot of different variants as to how this is changing this market from a rental side to a sale side. We'll keep you informed and do our best to make sure that you're seeing those things as they happen. If you have questions about your properties, if you have questions about what you can do to, kind of prepare for these things, let us know. Our contracts are solid. So at the end of the day, if you want to see how we're kind of preparing for some of the objections and some of the questions that we're having and just setting the proper expectations, let us know. Feel free to reach anybody on our team. And, if you do get somebody on the phone here at the office that you have or haven't spoken to in the past, ask them what they're seeing. If that's of interest to you, definitely do. I'm an owner myself. You all know that. So I love hearing what my team is sharing, because I'm not seeing that every day, right? I'm sitting in my space. And yes, I'm in property management. I'm a property manager. However, each one of them is so in the trenches in their own specific spot that it's helpful for me to really understand, what's really going on out there? What is that? And that's why, bringing this information to you, this isn't doom and gloom. This isn't hey, let's be scared of this or that. This is just being prepared for these shifts and just trying to make sense of it to, again, paint that broader picture of what's really going on. I hope this was super helpful. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any sort of questions, if you want to schedule a call to go over your goals, to go over strategy, to go over, hey, what the heck is this market doing? hit me up. Would love to hear from you. The more owners I can talk to in a week, the better I feel about what's going on and what we're doing. Hope you guys appreciate it, and look forward to connecting with you soon. Thanks.